Hi, welcome to a Rise and Reignite fitness class. This is the legendary workout, which basically just means you're going to have a lot of fun listening to a lot of kind of crazy stories. We're going to go ahead and get started with a warm-up. Bring one knee up at a time. We're just easing into the exercise with approximately 3 minutes of warming up. So you don't need to overextend yourself here. You don't need to raise those legs up too high. We're just bringing up about to hip height, if not a little lower, just getting the body nice and warm. You got 5, 4, 3, 2. Take a nice wide stance here. Reach down and touch one toe and then switch to the other. So what is the legendary workout? Well, if you haven't been here before, you're in for something truly bizarre. We have 4 different sets of workouts, each of which involves something that's a little bit lower pace, more set on strength, followed by a punctuation of cardio that only lasts about 1 minute. In total, each of these 4 sets lasts about 9 minutes. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring yourself up, legs come closer together, hands come out in front of you, reach one arm back, bring it up. One arm back, bring it up. And each of these 4 sets is a different story. So we're going to work through the different moves that relate to your story. So imagine you're listening to a podcast or a really engaging book while you're working out. Instead of just listening to it while you jog, you're doing the steps, you're doing the stuff. It's really bizarre. All right, you got 3. That's so fun. 2, final one. Take it up, take it here. You're going to reach one leg out, scoop down, pull underneath it, and pull up. And switch to the other side. So today we actually have something super special and fun. We are doing the same story for 2 different sets. It's just going to be a to be continued portion. So we're going to, it's just such a long story, but it's an important one. You got 3, 2, last one. Awesome. You're going to bring those legs out slightly wider than hip distance apart. Bring those arms down. Start walking forward into an inchworm. Crawl back up and reach toward the sky. So you want to come down, reach out forward in front of you, crawl back up, and reach up. Awesome. Keep going right here. Crawling forward. We're going to do 2 more, just like this, getting that nice extension in the back of your hamstrings. Pull forward, pull up, reach up one more time. Take it down, pull forward, pull back, and reach up. Hands come back onto your hips. You're going to bring one leg up, reach it around, drop it down, and switch to the other side, opening up those hips. Open up that gate, nice and smooth. Again, you don't need to overextend yourself in this portion. Just nice, gentle movements. Listen to your body. Figure out what's tight for you today, what you maybe need to pull back on that you normally would go for because maybe your body isn't up to it. Maybe you say if your body's feeling really good, try to push yourself a little harder today. You got 3, 2, final one. We're going to come just lifting one leg up at a time, working into those hamstrings again. You're going to start reaching the opposite arm toward that foot, and then you're going to add a twist so your back is getting involved too. So you don't need to come up super high, as long as you're getting that pull in the back of your hamstring. Almost there. You got 3, 2, final one. Bring it all the way down. Got about 5 seconds to grab your set of light hand weights. And we're going to start in Japan. Bring those arms down to your sides. And we're going to pull them all the way up. And we're going to start doing circles here. We're just diving right into it. These weights have a tendency to get super heavy, super fast. If you need to take a break, drop down when you need one. Come back up when you're ready. So today is July 7th. That might mean nothing to you, but it's the 7th day of the 7th month, and it's actually a festival in Japan. And the festival is like the Festival of Stars. You got 3, 2, 1, flip to the other direction, circling the other way. And so this festival is celebrated all throughout Japan with a lot of colorful decorations. It's a big summer festival thing. People eat summer food. People dress colorfully. People dress in traditional garb like kimonos and that kind of stuff. You got 3, 2, 1, hold here and pulse, 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 just right, straight up and down. And so this is all based on a story about the cow herder and the weaver girl. But that's actually, there's a few variations. So we're going to cover that portion in the second part. For the first part, we're going to cover a different portion that's slightly more epic and a little more gruesome. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, and flip. You're not done here yet. So we're going to start in a town where there's an old man and his wife, and they have 3 daughters. The first 2, well, they're nothing to get too excited about. They're kind of terrible people. The third one, though, is a wonderful daughter. Everyone loves her. She's the greatest. She's super special. Then the snake. There's a snake, sorry, I didn't introduce that very well. A snake comes to the old man and says, I want to marry one of your daughters, and I want you to build me a house. We're gonna go ahead and take those weights, we're gonna drop it down, and we're gonna do a workout here that's super relevant to your daily life. I'm gonna explain how to do it, it's a little hard. First, come up into a downward dog. You're gonna roll into a push-up and pull up into a snake, and then you're gonna roll back in up into that downward dog. So just go at your own pace here. The reason this is super helpful is if you're ever locked out of your house, but you have a doggy door, this is the way in. You enter, take a look around on the inside, and come right back up. Whoops. All right, so in other words, though, we're being the snake. So the snake says, yeah, I want to marry one of your daughters. And the old man says, no. And the snake's like, well, I'll kill you. Guys, if there's anything we have learned from our prior workouts, it's that if a snake asks for a daughter's hand in marriage, no matter how evil the snake might seem, it'll probably be life-changing for the better. So go ahead and take advantage of that next snake proposal. All right, we're gonna come down one more time, and then we're gonna come up. And that's the last one of those crazy snake push-ups. You're gonna walk in towards your hands. You're gonna go ahead and grab your heavier set of weights. You're gonna bring them right here to your waist. Pull them into 2 90-degree angles. And we're gonna start pulling up, 2, and down, 2. So the dad says, who of my daughters will volunteer to go be married to a snake? The first 2 daughters, who again, aren't great people, say, no way. The third daughter, whom everyone loves, says, I will make that sacrifice. So she goes and becomes the snake's wife. And when he meets her on their first day living together in their brand new house, he says, I want you to cut my head off. Which is an odd thing to say. But I feel like for her, this is really a no-lose situation, right? He offers. So even if he dies, like that seems like a plus. And if he doesn't die, there's got to be something else going on. It can't get much worse. Hold here. You're going to punch, 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 punch. Breathe in and out nice and low. So she cuts his head off, and out emerges a beautiful prince, the Dragon King. Yay! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those arms all the way down, out in front of you, and we're going to do bicep curls here. Break it in and out. So he has, they get married, or they're already married, and he has this box, this fancy little box he's got, and he says, never, ever, ever open or touch this box, which, guys, never a good thing to say to somebody. If you have a magic box you don't want anyone to touch, you should say, everyone please touch this box, because then people will just get distracted by Netflix and not care. But this guy says, never touch the box. And then he says, hey, listen, I've got some like celestial stuff going on in the sky, so I gotta take a quick trip. Just make sure you don't open the box. And here, by the way, are very specific instructions to find me should I be too long or you have an issue. And so that's good. That's a good forewarning sign. So he heads out to the heavens or wherever, and her 2 sisters, they come and they're jealous of their other sister who willingly married the snake. And they say, okay, well, what's going on here? And they find that box and they say, you have to open this box. So she opens the box and inside is smoke and nothing else. But now that means her husband can't come back down from the heavenly realms. You're up, down that arm all the way. We're gonna drop down one of those weights and just grab one in one hand. And we're gonna start pulling in and up. So luckily, his very specific instructions involved her going to plant a gourd in the ground, which then burst into the sky overnight in this huge vine like a Jack and the Beanstalk moment. 3, 2, final one, up. Switching to the other side, you're gonna pull it in. So she's climbing up the vine just like you're doing. One-handed, you go. So she climbs up the vine all the way into the celestial realms where she goes from place to place trying to find her husband. And eventually she finds him and he is so happy to have her there. And then he says, hey, we have kind of an issue. My dad, you got 3 and 2, final one, drop that down. We're gonna grab the lighter set of hand weights. You're gonna bring them up over your head, slightly bend those knees, bring them down and up, down, up. My dad is not gonna be too happy that I am with a human woman and that we're living in the skies. So every time my dad comes, I'm gonna turn you into like an inanimate object, like a fan or a pillow. And we're the fan right now, opening up and closing. But eventually the dad finds out and he says, I will kill you unless you accomplish 4 different tasks, which we will get to in the next round. You're gonna put this down and we're gonna do our cardio blast. First, we're gonna enjoy being a human by using our arms and legs. So you're gonna do 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna fan and fan and fan. Last one, be a human. 4, 3, 2, 1, and fan. Fan. Really explode from those legs, be a human. 4, 3, 2, 1, fan. Fan. Use those muscles to blast all the way up. You're in the celestial realm. You can blast higher. Last one there. Here we go, back again. Do this at your own pace if you need to. Go a little slower. You're doing great, you got 15 seconds left. Here we go, take it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, fan it out. You're almost there, you got less than 10 seconds. Come back and fan. 3, 2, final 1. Yay, good job. Unfortunately, the dad still found out. So we still do have tasks to perform. You have a nice long 20-second break here. I'm gonna turn that timer thing off. Grab water, whatever you need. A friend to hug and hold. A fan to fan you down. You know what's going on here. And we're gonna get ready for our next set of exercises. We're gonna start, I'll just check my notes first. On the ground. We're gonna start on the ground and we're gonna cover all these different tasks. Start by grabbing a weight, putting it in the crevice of one of your legs. Hands come down underneath your shoulders. Flex that foot, lift up and down. If you've been to a number of these classes, you know you're being some kind of an animal right now. Maybe it's a deer, maybe it's a horse. In this case, it's a cow. First, there is a herd of cows, and the dad says, you have to make sure you guard and herd all these cows perfectly and not lose a single one. You got 3 and 2, final 1, pull it all the way up and pulse, pulse. This poor girl, knowing nothing about cows, doesn't know what to do, but her truly beloved gives her a handkerchief to wave in the air and say her husband's name, and that will magically fix the situation. Pull it down. You're gonna put this weight into the other leg and come back and do the same thing, other side, up and down. So the cows are all around doing, who knows what. When she takes the handkerchief, waves, and then all the cows move perfectly back to their home. The next task, we're still gonna be in cow pose, even if that's not what we're doing here. The next task was to gather to gather grains of rice and move every grain of rice from one house to another without losing a single one. So she waves that sleeve again and says the magic words, 3, 2, hold all the way up, And little ants come in, grab all those grains of rice, and pull them over so that they're not losing any rice. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. So he's like, fine, you won this round. There's still 2 more tasks. Come up onto your hands and your toes, and you're gonna lift one arm forward toward your knee, drop it back, and crunch in the other one, and crunch. And so he puts her in a room filled with centipedes, and she defeats them with a mighty wave of her hanky. And then he puts her in a room full of snakes, and she waves the handkerchief and once again defeats them all. So finally, she is recognized by her father-in-law that she won. 3, 2, final one. Bring your hands down, tuck those toes under, reach up into a downward dog, and walk in towards your feet. I'm gonna set you up for a next exercise. It's not gonna make sense now, but soon your mind will make somewhat sense. So you're gonna stay here, hold here, down a little, down a little, down a little, one heel, one heel, one heel, one heel. Lift up, down a little, down a little, down a little, all the way down, one heel up, one heel up. So keep doing that here. So when she wins, he says, fine, you can see my son 1 day a month. And she, being a little bit hard of hearing, apparently, says 1 day a year. And he's like, yeah, that's better. And so that's why she is allowed to see her husband on the 7th day of the 7th month of the year, which is today, which is why we celebrate a festival. In another version of the story, we're gonna start doing this. I don't know what we're doing, but it's weaving, okay? I don't know how to weave, but we're weaving. Come up, start weaving from the top. I mean, there's some things I don't know how to do. This is one of them. All right, so she is the weaver princess. Her son, this is a different version of the story and why we celebrate. Her father is the god of the sky. So he really likes her weaving work, and she is just like so incredible. But he finds this herder guy, this herder who unfortunately lives on the other side of the Milky Way, like a long distance relationship for show. You know what I'm talking about? So he lives on the other side of the Milky Way, and she meets him, and immediately the two of them are totally and completely in love, and so they get married. And unfortunately, they are so in love that they actually develop problems at that point. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna come down to the ground. We're gonna be a cow again. All right, bring those arms down, and without weights this time, we're just gonna hold up, and we're gonna immediately jump into the pulsing. 5, 4, 3, hold here, straighten and pull back, straighten, pull back, straighten, pull back. Okay, so immediately she stops her weaving. She's like, I'm done with this, I'm in love. And all of his cows run wild around the heavens. This is such a bad thing that the sky god, the god who was her father, the god of the skies, who was mostly just disappointed in not getting the clothes he wants, let's be real, said, the two of you are banished from one another. You have to go live on one side of the Milky Way, and you have to go live on the other. 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Bring your other leg up, and we're going to start with those pulses. So pull those abs in. Shoulders are down over your wrists. Nice neutral back. You got 3, 2, 1. Extend, pull in. Extend, pull in. So she starts crying. The daughter starts crying. And the dad takes pity on her and says, daughter, if you finish the clothes that I want, you can see your husband one time a year on the 7th day of the 7th month. So she goes through and finishes all the clothing and goes, and they're able to see each other on the 7th day of the 7th month. Go ahead and pull down. The first time they do, we're gonna come here, we're gonna lean back, we're gonna bring our arms out to the side, pull in, extend, pull in, extend. The first time he tried to meet, they can't, because there isn't a bridge pulling them together. So a group of magpies, all these birds, come together to make a bridge to help the two lovers be able to see each other in the future. So on the 7th day of the 7th month, they can go to this bridge, connecting these two stars across the Milky Way, and that is why we celebrate today's holiday. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, we're gonna do our next cardio blast. So come all the way to the top. We're gonna be the magpies. You're the true stars of the story. So you're gonna start by crisscrossing in front, and then you're gonna bring your arms out to the side. You're gonna bring out, in, just moving side to side, pulling those arms in like wings. And then we're gonna start jazzing it up. Starting right here. All right, so you got 5, 4, 3, 2, crisscross side to side. Hands come in front, forward, back, forward, back. So just being magpies in a different fantastic way. Use your breath. You're only doing cardio for a minute. You can pull through. We're gonna go back to the initial one in 5, 4, 3, 2, pull in, back. So your feet just come side to side, sliding like a scissor kick. So those wings you've got come down and out. Got 5 seconds left here, almost there. All right, you got 3, 2, 1, and you're done. So you've got a nice long rest here. Grab water, anything you need. Here are some more facts about today's celebration Tanabata. So what you've got going on is if you have any wishes, you write them on colorful pieces of paper, and you hang them on bamboo trees. And then those get let out into the water, and your wishes go out into the world and will come true. So if you want to make a wish, today is the perfect day for it. And then also, maybe it's not. Because if it rains, the magpies can't come. And I checked the forecast in Kyoto today, and it's raining. In fact, there are tornado warnings. So that means they can't see each other until next year. Still, I say make a wish anyway. Why not? What could go wrong? Okay, we're gonna go to Greece now. We covered that legend thoroughly. We're gonna go talk about Atalanta. Bring 2 heavy weights. You can do this without weights too, totally fine. You're gonna come down, lean into a side lunge here, pull it in, lead into a side lunge on the other side, pull it in, and lunge here, pull in. So this is a move we're gonna come back to a few times today. This is our warrior move. This is practicing strength, practicing our abilities. Atalanta is a true warrior. So the story of her starts with her father being disappointed with the fact that she's a woman. Yes, he sees his daughter is born and says, not a son, time to abandon this chick on the top of a mountain. And that's what he does. You got 3, take it to the side, 2, final 1, over here, take it up. You're gonna drop those weights down. We're gonna come into a bear formation. Bears are different than cows, guys. You're gonna come up onto your hands, tuck those toes under, reach up so your knees are about 1 inch or 2 off the ground. You're gonna walk forward, staying low, and then you're gonna walk back. Staying low. Walk forward, stay low, take it back. So she is raised by bears, which helps to explain why she's such a cool warrior. They find her, they lovingly raise her. We're just gonna do this for 3 more reps. Take it back until she is found by humans. 1 more time forward, and we're gonna take it all the way up. She's found by humans who then start teaching her how to fight. So you can grab your heavier set of weights. I'm gonna grab my lighter so I can tell you stories. Bring those weights up to your shoulders this time. We're a little older, so we're gonna bring them up to the side and come down. And so these warriors start to train her. She becomes super feisty. And she even beats like Achilles' dad in a wrestling match, I think at a funeral. There's some weird twists and turns in her life. And eventually, there is a boar that is let loose by Artemis to pillage and plunder the town. This boar is let loose because the king forgot to honor Artemis in like the annual honoring festivities. So now he needs to find someone to kill the boar. So Artemis shows up and says, I can do it. Go ahead and drop these weights down. We're gonna come back and do boar time. So boars look kind of like bears. We're gonna come down to the ground. You're gonna tuck those toes under, lift your knees up. I'm gonna start by bringing one knee in, one knee in, one knee in. They don't move as much as bears do. And so she says, I can totally defeat the boar. And then this other guy, Meleager, shows up and says, I'll help you kill the boar. And so together, 3, 2, 1, we're gonna take a break, rest for a moment. They start attacking the boar. First, Atalanta makes a shot. That is the first blow to the boar. Go ahead and pull up, pull those legs in. But the final death blow is performed, in fact, by Meleager, who's able to kill the boar and end its rampant terrorism of the city. 3, 2, 1. Heels down, come all the way up, grab onto those lighter weights again. Coming back to center, hold those weights up. Now as you drop down, you can lift those weights up toward the sky and pull them in. Drop and lift. So suddenly then, everyone breaks out in battle because Meleager was awarded the skin of the boar and decided instead to give it to Atalanta for having the first blow. So people weren't too happy about that. They thought Meleager should get it, so they decide to fight. Meleager, in the heat of the battle, ends up killing his 2 uncles who showed up. Not good news, guys. Put those weights down. What I didn't tell you about Meleager, poor guy, bring your head up, feet up, and start waving those feet back and forth, is that when he was born, the fate said, this child's life is tied to this piece of wood. And when this wood burns up, the child will die. So his mom, naturally being protective, took the piece of wood, hid it away so that no one would ever be able to find it. And he could live for a long, 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 long time. But when she finds out her brothers were killed by Meleager, she's not too happy. So she grabs the wooden piece, throws it into the fire, and immediately consumes him. And wherever he's at, helping out Atalanta, he just dies. You got 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Go ahead and tuck those toes under. Roll all the way up. That's kind of the end of what we hear about Meleager. She doesn't really mourn or anything. She's just sort of like, okay, next thing. So all the people find out, all the men in the country find out about her. Actually, we're going to come here now. We're going to come into a squat, lift up. Squat and up. Every man in the kingdom wants to marry Atalanta because she can slay boars and, you know, wrestle Achilles' dad. So they come for her hand and she says, I don't really want to get married, so I'll create an impossible task for them. It's going to be a running match. You got 3 and 2, last 1. So we're going to start like with a magpie type move. You know what I'm talking about. Moving back and forth with 4, 3, 2, and come down. 4, 3, 2, come down. So she starts this foot race. Anyone who loses dies. And so finally, there's this other cutie who decides he's in love with her, but he's not super athletic. But Aphrodite, she is a sucker for love, helps him out, gives him 3 golden apples to distract Atalanta during the foot race. So we got 3, 2, down. Sorry, that was totally not line of anything. So while he's running, he's tossing around these golden apples. And she keeps looking at him and then running after them to go get them. By the end, she's been so distracted as he's let these apples fling in every direction, and she's collected all of them, that he wins the race and they get married. Last time here, and take it down. Awesome. Whew, that was a little more cardio than expected. We're still gonna go into a cardio blast fest. So we're gonna start by little feet, okay? Little feet, Then reach down, drop an apple, or grab an apple. Little feet, grab an apple. So you're lunging back and grabbing an apple. Come back, run, grab an apple. Come back and run, grab an apple. Run, grab an apple. Get a little lower, grab an apple. Stay low, grab an apple. You're only here for 1 minute trying to win this foot race and grab all the golden apples. Take it down, come back, and you got it, you got it. Get a little lower, get a little faster. Make those thighs burn during this, guys. You can do it, keep pushing through. I know you're tired, I know you're feeling it. You're not here long, 15 seconds left, guys. 15 seconds left. Grab it, get low. Grab the apple. Here we go. 5 more seconds. Last set. Last one right here. And you're done. Yes! Victory is ours. Unfortunately, much like in the first story, where the two are so happily married that they end up being torn apart, there are stories that talk about how Atalanta and her hubby, after getting a little busy in a temple, they get turned into lions so that they can't be together in their human forms anymore. So, I mean, a lot of star-crossed lovers today, guys. I'm gonna move the weights out of the way. Next place we're going, keep them nearby though. So we're actually going somewhere we haven't gone before. We're going to the Caribbean. We're gonna do some, the Taino creation story. So let's first talk about what region this is. We're gonna come all the way down onto our back, lift those legs up into the air. This first move isn't related to anything. It's just gonna help warm us up, bring those legs down, pull in and up, and give you an intro to this story. So this area of the world is the Caribbean. So like the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, you've got the Lower Antilles. You've got a whole bunch of different areas here that all have this as part of their, these are the indigenous peoples of those areas, the stories that go there. So this is the creation story. And it starts with 4 quadruplet brothers. I guess that was redundant. They are all identical, except one of the brothers has these scars and bruises and wounds all over him, which is gross. They just don't heal. They're just there all the time. So he has this sickness, this affliction. Last one here, pull it all the way up. You're gonna wrap your hands around your head, pull yourself up. We're gonna start walking here. Why? Because we're creeping around. Yahya, the god of the skies, he's out tending his field. But these 4 quadruplet brothers, I'm gonna say that even though it's redundant, they are, they're kind of like wandering lost kids. They don't know who their parents are. They don't really have a home. They're in the heavens, but they don't have any direction. They just have each other. So they go creeping around, find this guy's house, this god's house, and decide to go in and start eating everything there. So they eat a whole bunch of stuff, and then they notice there's a gourd hanging up. So they start reaching. So keep your legs up high. One hand wraps around the back of your neck as you reach in one direction, pull back, reach in the other. They start reaching up toward the gourd. And they're reaching and reaching. They've already eaten everything in the house. The house is pretty much a problem already. But as they're reaching, they knock the gourd off. The gourd falls down, crashes, and breaks into a whole bunch of pieces, letting loose what's inside. So what's inside? You're gonna grab them all the way down, take those legs into the air, put your hands underneath your booty. You're gonna reach those legs down, open them up, lift up to the sky. Down, open, lift up. Down, open, and lift up. So inside the gourd was all the waters of like the universe, basically. So this is what our legs are. It's just these waves, these oceans, this water that ends up dropping down to earth. Remember, we were in the celestial heavens before, and covering the entire earth with water. Pull it up one more time, bring it in, Drop it down. We're gonna pull those legs in toward our chest, giving them just a brief little moment of relief. Those abs have been doing a lot of work for us. We're gonna come up, grab your lighter set of weights. You can do this without weights as well. But lean back into a 45-degree position. And we're gonna start by pulling our arms forward and out to the sides. This is like swimming through the waters of the earth. Breathe in and out. So all the waters cover the ground. There's fish and all that stuff for the first time, but it is separated entirely from the heavens. There's like no way to get back to it. All the brothers too are tossed about into the different regions of the world. Finally, they do all find their way to an elder's house. This elder helps to explain their lives to them. First, he says, by the way, your mother was actually like the goddess of the earth or something along those lines. Sorry, I don't remember exactly. If you write in the comments, I'll appreciate it. And they're excited now to know who their mom is. 3, 2, last one. Drop those weights down. You're gonna come onto your back. We're gonna do a little more explaining. So we're just gonna come and do crunches in the center for some filler for the explanation. While they're here, they're doing things like eating cassava bread, which is, for those of you who are free of everything, gluten-free, nut-free, all that kind of stuff, cassava bread is the bread for you. So they're eating cassava bread and having a good time with this guy. In a different version, they actually go and they steal fire from this guy and also eat cassava bread. The cassava bread is a thing, a big deal in this story, apparently. So they're eating cassava bread no matter which version you listen to. 3, 2, last one. Hold here. You're going to tap down, down, down. So at the end of this conversation, this guy does a super weird thing. 3, 2, 1. Turn onto your side. Bring those arms down in front of you. Reach up into a downward dog and then come into a plank. Up into a downward dog, come into a plank. He spits tobacco out of his nose and it lands on the brother with all the scars and wounds and stuff on him. And it lands on his back, on his shoulder. And then the wound, it wounds him and it starts to grow and grow and grow. And guys, if you're grossed out by this, I'm so sorry. It grows so big that the brothers are like, there's only one thing we can do with this. We've got to puncture it and drain it of whatever in there. So they do. And what's in there is a turtle that comes out of his back and starts swimming away. You got 3, 2, final one. Take it in, take it out. Awesome. You're going to come all the way down and now be the turtle. Be one with the turtle. Swimming away. Now bring those legs up, bring your upper body up. Start with swimming those feet. Reach those arms forward and pull back. Forward and pull back. So in this way, the that brother finally understands what his role in all of this is. He understands that he is the bridge between the heavens and the earth, where once there was no way to go through, this causes a new kind of way, a new kind of passage. Now the waters and the earth can be kind of as one. Keep pulling through. You're not here that much longer. Push through this. We're going to do this for 3, 2, 1. Hold here and just take both of those legs and pull up, 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 up. Really isolating those glutes. Your last 10 seconds here. Pull it up, pull it up. Breathe in and out. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Bring it down. So that's it for that story. This is our last cardio blast of the day. You're going to come all the way up. Reach it back into this my back is growing position. You're going to touch one toe, pull it out. Touch one toe, pull it out. One toe, out. So a slight variation on the last one where you're involving more of your body, getting more engaged. This is using your full core, your arms, your shoulders. Breathe, push through. You got it, doing great. This is your last cardio blast of the day. So close, almost there. Push through. I keep talking about the story, but this kind of grosses me out. Push. You have 15 seconds left. So close. You can taste it. You so got this. Give it me your all. These last 5 seconds. That's all you've got. Push through. Last one. Take it out. And you're done. Yes. Great job today, guys. Awesome work. You got a nice 5 seconds here to cool down. And then we're going to move into stretching. Stay here on the ground with me. We're going to start by bringing your feet together. Grab onto those feet. Oh, already I'm feeling it. Start leaning down over these legs. Let your torso drop down a little closer. You can do a couple different variations on this. Just like legends, you can find all kinds of variations. You can pull down from your hips, or you can reach down with your head and back curving up, which gives you a pull in your back and shoulders. Whatever is good for your body today. Let your breath come down, your heart rate come down. You should feel really good about what you're able to do today. Pull up, bring one leg out to the side, and reach down toward this leg. Right now, you're facing that leg, so your shoulders are pretty much squared. Your head is facing down towards your knee. We're going to change the direction of this stretch. Instead of looking down, we're going to look up. You're going to bring that arm up and over your head. Ooh, pull it on the side of your body. Breathe here. One more big breath. We're going to release that. Switch to the other leg. So let your one leg come in, your other leg extend out. Pull down over this leg. Again, your shoulders are pretty much squared. Looking down straight at this leg. Trying not to open up to the side during this portion of the stretch. One more breath here, and then adjusting to opening our body up, reaching that arm up and over. Oh man, all along the side of my body feels so good. Try to open that chest up a little more, like someone's pushing gently on your upper back. One more breath here. And come to center. We're going to move into a cow's head pose. Our workout today is fraught with cattle. Go ahead and lean down over this stretch. Pull forward. Use your breath to get lower to the ground, closer to your body. So this stretch can be a little difficult to get into. If you're finding this one is kind of hard for you to get to, you can always do a lotus or half lotus pose, which is like shin to shin kind of pose, or you can move into a figure 4 stretch, which can be easier to get into as well. I just don't want to leave. Pull up, and we're going to switch to the other leg. One knee over knee, and lean forward into this stretch. So if you didn't know what I meant earlier by lotus or half lotus, you can pull one leg over the other. This is a half lotus. A full lotus is bringing both feet up. So those are some other options that help stretch out here. Again, the figure 4 stretch is really, really, really good too. Breathe here another moment and come back up. Release those legs. Come back into a cross-legged position. We're going to give our head a few rotations, letting out any tension you're holding in your neck or your shoulders. One direction, and then you're going to go into the other direction. Maybe close your eyes here. Breathe deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take a moment to make this moment really yours. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. Come back to center. Let those hands drop down onto the ground beside you. We're going to end with one big breath. We're going to raise those hands up into the air as we inhale, reach all the way to the top with our full capacity, and then exhale, letting all that air come down as our hands reach down to our sides. Guys, thank you so much for coming out today. I hope you had fun. Go make a wish. And I will see you again later this week. If you are interested in something like moderate level exercises, we have a brand new class this week called Melt, which happens on Thursday nights after HIIT. And that class is all about taking sort of a slower pace to exercise, still being active, still having a lot of fun. You should leave those classes feeling really good and like you got on a light sweat, but you weren't totally exhausted by the end of it. So if you know anyone who would be interested in that, or if you would be interested in that, come on out. It's for people who maybe haven't worked out for a long time, or maybe are intimidated by the idea of working out, or if you just enjoy hanging out and having fun. All of those are really great reasons to come. Otherwise, happy July 7th. I will see you guys soon. Bye.